Welcome to a gorgeous night of racing here at The Rock as TNT Sports brings you to the second half of the season tonight with the running of the Subway 400 at The Rock. The weather here, oh my God, compared to Indy on Sunday, you could not ask for a better night of racing than this. Low, mid to upper 80s, no cloudness. No clouds, and here's the best words race fans have loved to see every week. No rain in the area. Not a single cloud is in the sky tonight. Currently past 7 p.m. here locally. Things a lot of these drivers are going to have to contest with, especially with the first half of this race probably being contested is starting as the sun sets, is vision. When you go off into turn one, as you the sun sets, and when turn one is basically bathed in shade, the way you're looking is sun is basically glaring directly in your eyes. So a lot of these guys have a darker tear off on their visor, at least till the sun sets a little bit, and that's when the track is going to start changing quite a bit, especially as we go deeper into the night. More lanes are going to open up, which means more passing, which means we could see a lot of three-wide racing tonight. Things we need to note that earlier today there was a crash in qualifying involving the 24-car Jacob Tube. He will be one of 4 drivers going to backups due to the new surface that they put on recently, because the previous surface sustained quite a bit of abuse over the years. Hunter Miller won the pole. Earlier today? Could this mean his summer of struggle can turn around with a win tonight, considering he hasn't won since Daytona all the way back in February? Only time will tell at the checkered flag tonight. And in the meantime, let's take a look at your starting lineup. Row 1, we got the Farmers Insurance Chevrolet and the Lowe's Chevrolet. Row 2, we got the White Deuce Ford and the Furniture Row Toyota. Row 3 finds the Jimmy John's Chevrolet and the Aris Internet Toyota. Row 4 finds the Hassan Nation Chevrolet and the Exalta Chevrolet. Row 5 finds the Pennzoil Ford and the Nature's Bakery Chevrolet. Row 6 finds the Zestfully Clean Ford and the Motorcraft Ford. Row 7 finds the Target Chevrolet and the American Ethanol E15 Chevrolet. Row number 8 finds the McDonald's Chevrolet and the FedEx Express Toyota. Both of these drivers are right below the cut line. And with the 11 basically tied up with the 42. As the A stand currently in points. In the next row, we got the Tide Toyota and the Advocare Ford. Row 10 finds Brendan Little, the guy who basically broke his leg here in a vicious crash a couple years ago and won last year, in the Lilly Diabetes Ford and the Caterpillar Chevrolet. While we're scrolling through the rest of the field, let's see if we can cue up Hunter Miller. Hey, Hunter, this is Wally Dawn back in the TNT booth. You got us? 10-4. It's been a rough summer for you guys, you and the 5 team, and with you winning qualifying today. Do you feel confident about your car heading into tonight, especially with the changing track conditions and the race starting as the sun's in the process of setting? Not really. I mean, the 48 hit is really probably one of the best Hendrick cars here when you really think about it. So a lot of the guys made some changes overnight when we qualified earlier today. Well, actually 3 hours ago. Hours ago, the car was set up just right, especially for the abrupt turn two, and especially since the turn two basically wants to suck you into the wall, just like a typical turn at Dover. That right there is probably the best turn that was the key of us getting the pole and us being in second. Anyways, our Farmers Insurance Chevrolet is pretty good tonight. Hopefully we'll stay out of trouble, and since this is a repave, we may expect a few cautions here. He is one of our 6 onboard cameras tonight, broadcasted in HD. You can also watch these on NASCAR.com Race Buddy, provided you have a good internet connection that can stream these onboards in HD. Alvin Alonso has the Zest Ford. Nate Sherman has the Lowe's on Home Improvement on board. Brendan Little has the Lilly Diabetes on board. Jonathan Morrison has the American Ethanol on board. Zach Speed has the Tide on board. And the last on board in this group is the Kelly Blue Book on board with the 24 of Jacob Tube. Some things you need to note is there were a few crashes as these drivers tried to figure out this new repave in the practice sessions. There were a couple on Friday. The 18 and 43 both crashed in different sessions. The 18 crashed, basically opened up the weekend. So the 43 and the 24, obviously he had his crash earlier today. In qualifying, it was a pretty hard shot to the inside wall. He is okay, and he will take the green flag from the 32nd starting spot. And also a thing to note, KFC Cup Series was originally supposed to take the green flag tonight from the 17th position. However, an engine change after qualifying will relegate him to start from 31st. Now as we take a look at our Wendy's race menu this afternoon, I'd like to remind you that tonight's race is going to be 18 laps. Tonight, 34 cars as always, 4 of them going into the back, 3 of them very well could be contenders for the win tonight when we come down to it. Pace car is off. Potentially the last night race at Rockingham for the future. Hunter Miller is going to bring him down. And under the green flag, we're racing at the Rock. Hunter Miller got a good enough of his start. Nate Sherman laid back a little bit off of a little bit so he can get down to the inside of the racetrack. Because currently with how hot it is and how slick it's going to be, a lot of guys are going to probably try sliding around in a little bit. And as the night changes, it's probably going to be a little cooler than it was earlier when we took the green flag. However, it's still going to be a lot of multi-groove racing. A lot of guys try to run 2-3 lanes up the racetrack. for now, expect a lot of one group racing, maybe a minimal amount of side-by-side, as Hunter Miller's actually got a decent gap on the 48. The two, Robert Smith, another one of the drivers, he could point his way into the chase, but sure, he would love to have a win tonight. He is running in fourth, possibly about to be passed by the 78. Well, more or less moved up the racetrack of Eric Gamer. Him and Brendan Little got into a heated discussion. And by heated discussion, I mean brawl. After the chaos, that was the last lap at the Brickyard. He has moved his 78 machine up to fourth. Bill. Eric Gamer just got on the radio and told his crew chief Cole Perrin that you did a great job tuning this thing last night, boys. This thing is bad fast. You see him try to get position on the inside of the 78. As we got one car out of the racetrack into the wall that looks to be the 21 car. Looks like may have sustained some pretty significant damage. After the 17 basically kamikazed in there and put him in the wall. 17 put us in the wall, boys. 17 put us in the wall. Be ready. Be ready. You know the drill there. That looks to be the deal as the caution has come out. Yeah, that's pretty extensive damage. Hold it up there, hold it up there, hold it up there. Just hold it up there, hold it up there. Bring it down pit road and we'll see what we got. Bring it down pit road, we'll see what we got. Shame for Alvin Alonso, too. He had one of the fastest cars basically all night. He was running up in the 12th position. Left front down, left front down, left front down. Right hit square. The right side is fixable, boys. Right side is fixable. 17 just can't enter a corner. Yeah, that's a pretty hard hit. If they can get squared out, it's good for them, but that is a pretty heavy impact. With the hit, it could, when the 21 hit the wall, you don't bounce off the wall and keep going. And as much as a lot of these guys think that, there's a lot of internal stuff that gets hit, that gets damaged or broke once you make that contact with a wall. Like, could the toe be knocked out of whack and the suspension be out of whack? 21 is down pit road. Matt Yoakum. Thanks, Alan. Xavier Sudreska got on the radio and said they jerked the wheel 20% to the left. Steering may be knocked out of whack. We are going to have to go behind the wall. As his pit crew, they're going to try to get the tire on left front on the car so they can go inside, go to the garage, and maybe take a look at what they can do to fix it. The Rock has officially claimed its first. Wait, maybe they can fix it. Xavier Shutter. I just listened to Crucci and says the damage doesn't look. He said the damage does not look that bad. They're gonna try to beat out the right front fender of the car. Maybe to have some clearance. Maybe for the guys to put some tape on the car. He hit pretty square. Just like we said, Rockingham is a very tough place on tires. When you really think about it. They got the damage on the car. Granted, he's currently a couple laps down. Now, however, the lap counter does occasionally stop during caution periods. That's one of those cases. Unless it's like a quickie yellow, then it's usually 2 laps for the guys to come down and then pit and then get lined up and go back to green. Of the 4 biggest movers that have had to start in the last 4 spots in tonight's Subway 400, KFC Cup Series has been the biggest of them, biggest mover, passing after he started in the 31st position tonight. He's all the way up in 21st position. As Jacob TP he started 32nd. He's up in 26th right now. Joshua Leanbatch is in 30th, and then Mason Powers has only gained 3 spots. See if we can get a nice view for the restart. The top 2 has been relatively unchanged. Could Hunter Miller be willing to lead? He's going to try to lead the field to the green flag. Hopefully, if the Hendrick guys are going to be playing some gamesmanship tonight, which looks like they are. Here we go. Reminder, both of these drivers do have wins. So they can do stuff like this and gamble. While a lot of guys have to play it safe, especially guys who haven't won, like the 22 Zucks Moonbox, currently in the middle of the relatively tight 3-wide situation with the couple cars. See the 10, the 88. They're really bottling up. Could almost see a wreck developing. Nate Sherman is going to take the top spot. Here comes the 2 Mason of Robert Smith. Hunter Miller is currently falling to 3rd. Looks like he's possibly going to get passed for 4th by the 3rd by the 4 car. Caleb Hoffman slides into the 5th position. You can see Hunter Rizzoni in the 41. He is one of the drivers that looks like he's going to be the first to test the top lane in turn 2. Pulls even with the 19, almost turns him, and we got a car on the wall. That's Caleb Hoffman. And down the track goes Caleb Hoffman into the wall, hard contact. That's last week's winner, Caleb Hoffman just got turned into the inside wall. That's heavy. Heavy contact has fortunately brought out the second caution. Hard hit. That's benefit of this for barrier down there on the 40. That contact. Caleb Hoffman Wilnet is down on his car, so that is some pretty good news. That he is okay. Hello. Yeah. Yep. All right. Oh. When it is down on the 19. And he doesn't look too happy. Again. Benefit of those safer barriers down there after Brendan Little's wreck a couple years ago. All the way back in season 2, where he basically had some significant contact. Wow. And there's the finger point. Don't be seeing any more of that tonight. Huh. I wouldn't think so. Rockingham is one of those tracks with a lot of hard-nosed bumping and grinding, a lot of bumpers being put to each other, a lot of people being moved out of the way. In fact, the first blow of for that impact to that car. Caleb Hoffman's got some good kinds of tracks coming up for him. In fact, next Saturday, these guys are going to be down in Portland for the Portland 350K. Coverage beginning at 1:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT. Second road course race of the season, then out to Michigan the Saturday after that. for the running of the running of the 3M400. Coverage begins at 12:30 p.m. on TNT. In fact, all of these next 4 races, or next 5 races actually, are going to be seen on TNT. Just kind of a brief note to bring up. Jacob, too, actually took a pretty big gamble. He actually took no tires, just some gas. And he's going to restart up in the 8th position after previously starting all the way back in 24th. Tell you right now, since 7 laps are in, this track is going to change quite a bit. See, the lights are coming on, not a lot of sunlight left. It means that the lights are going to come on and these drivers are going to get very, very aggressive. Especially in the later, these stages of the race with the track changing, the sun basically almost at a complete set. He's got a problem on pit road with the 43 of Joseph Lombard, subbing for Mason Powers after his vicious crash at Atlanta last week, or Indy last week. Looks like the hood is up on the 43. Dave? Mason Powers got in the radio and told his team it will not turn on. Both batteries are dead. I'm cycling both of them. Very frustrating day. For Mason Powers Joseph Lombard filling in for Mason Powers in these next few races, especially down in the road courses until Mason Powers is slated to come back possibly since Mason Powers is out for the season. Joseph Lombard is taking over the 43. Definitely not a way to start the first race. If you remember, Mason Powers was one of the drivers that involved in that scary crash last week at Indianapolis that we later learned that Mason Powers had some severe concussion symptoms after that hit. And at that point, looks like they're going to take it behind the wall as Caleb Hoffman is. In the meantime, let's go full throttle, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Let's see some spotter coverage on the restart. Ready, bring it down. Bring it down. Come on. Come on. Ready? Green flag. Rolling outside, all rolling. As a round goes, Nate Sherman, he spins to the grass. Careful. Got one spinning out of the back. No caution. One down in the back. See the 88 on the outside. Could he possibly try to get a pass on the 41? Oh, wow. A little bit of contact there off two. Contact. Ah, crap. Looks like as Nate Sherman is falling well outside the top 25. At this point, a lot of three-wide racing. See the looks like they're going to be getting a little aggressive here as trouble. We got cars up in the wall. Looks like 17 got turned by the 10. Into the wall he goes. Going down the... Oh, wow. Hard hit. Somebody hit the 17 hard. Recommend you. Caution's out. Wow, that's heavy impact. Look at the damage on both the Roush Fenway cars. And this one, as Alvin Alonso is quickly out of the car, and so is the 6. Long-winded, though, but he is out. That is a vicious lick. Now is when we're going to get the later stages of the race. People are going to get more and more aggressive. Sorry, guys. 3 was on my back the entire time. 3 car was on my back. Sorry, guys. 3 car was on our backs. Sorry, guys. Just entirely my fault there. Just hope Alvin Alonso's okay. He's fine. He got out. He was a little bruised, shaken up, but he's fine. Good. He basically got hammered at 130 miles an hour by that 6 car. Some pretty significant damage to both those cars. Peyton Beasley is out. Looks like they have not gotten to a red, as in they're putting Speedy Dry down in on the outside wall, because that's where a lot of these guys have driven tonight. As if we look at our tickets to the race menu, all of these next 5 races are going to be on TNT. Next Saturday afternoon at Portland, coverage begins 1:30 p.m. Eastern with the Discover Card countdown to green. And then Michigan, the Saturday after that, coverage beginning at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. With the Discover Card countdown to green on TNT, and then the 2 new venues out at Road Atlanta out in Brazelton, the Sun Energy 1-220. Coverage begins at 2 p.m. Eastern for that race. And then the race down at Sebring International Raceway, the wide Clubman course down in Florida. Coverage for that race begins at 12 p.m. Eastern on TNT. And then the end of our TNT race, TNT Midsummer Stretch, ends out at Bristol for a Friday night brawl, aka the throwback race for the year. Previously, the throwback race would be held a week later at Darlington. But this year, it's going to be moved to Bristol per fan request. And speaking of free pass, guess who just got back on the lead lap? This guy. He is currently running in the 30th position. Ready. Bring it down, boys. Nice and slow on the start. Nice and slow. No, nothing stupid. Nice and slow on the start. Robert Smith in the 2. He has not won all season. I'm sure he'd love to get a win tonight. Hopefully put Team Penske, at least one of their cars, in the chase. Here is getting ready for the restart. 8 laps to go. Start 7 now. As we bring the field down to the green flag. Little dead even going into turn 1. Looks like Dillon gets a better jump that time. Going off turn 2. Whoa, into the wall. Oh, there it is. Big wreck. Oh, man. Oh. Big. Oh, big. This is big. This is big. Wreck behind you. Caution's out. Oh, my. They continue piling up in this crash. 3, 4. Looks like Jonathan Morrison's piled in this. Brendan Little in the 16. Oh, wow. Just like we talked about back in Canada earlier tonight. Anytime these wrecks happen, especially in this backstretch, it all cleans itself out. What turned into a 1-car issue with a 4-car getting into the wall and the 42 checking up and basically being turned into the wall head first. And look at the damage for some of these cars. That's Brendan Little. He did not need Derek Lewis. He did not need this tonight. The 18 of Joshua Leanbatch is involved. Looks like the 11 may have gotten a piece of the accident. That's the rest of the Joe Gibbs fleet, pretty much. See the 20 car basically get turned into the inside wall by the 14. Wow. And I mean, just look at the damage that some of these cars have, as they have red flagged the race. Just because there's so much debris on the and oil down on the race on the backstretch that drivers cannot continue safely. See the 14 down on pit road after getting in the back of the 20. The 20, however, has decided to stay out and wait till he pits. And just look at the just absolute destruction on the back. Some of these guys. Derek Lewis's winner is not down. It's the Sports Center Cup Series in the 11 down on pit road. This wreck took out a lot of good cars. Looks like the 11 got minimal damage, actually, along with a couple other cars. The 18, the 20, and the 14, notably. Now there it is. Derek Lewis wearing it down. Out of the car. So he's... most of the damage that he got probably was from the 10 and plowing in the back of him like that. And look at that. Look at this. Down turn one with our camera pointed at the front stretch. Just look at the absolute damage. By the way, this is the 5th caution of the night. Look at how many cars are just left running that we can try to point out that did not receive damage in this crash. So 29, 33, both of them have stopped in the apron. They may have ran over some debris in the accident. However, they were one of the cars that got by out of this crash. See the scene on the backstretch, Jonathan Morrison out of the car. Brendan Little, he can't move, so because he's basically pinned against the inside wall, his night is done. I talked to just wow. Remember that about 10, maybe 12 cars got involved in the turn 2 chaos on the backstretch. What started because the 4 car got up into the wall when the 88 got him loose, basically turned into a multi-car pileup on the backstretch with some pretty heavy hits. Involved in this pretty big crash. Several guys that are on the edge of that cut line. Jonathan Morrison with his couple wins. The 11. Wow. So at the moment, we do not, if we count the 33 and the 29, since they ran over some debris in this crash. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 12 cars involved in this pileup on the backstretch, in this backstretch crash. In fact, 18 of them are still running with minimal damage from crashing. In fact, if you count the 21, that's 17 cars that have not been in an accident. Half of the field, due to how small this field is compared to the Monster Energy Cup Series with its field of 40, wrecks like this make the field look really, really small. That's why you got guys like the 11, the 14, the 18, who actually did drift through the oil. He did not get damaged, so he had maybe a minimal left quarter panel damage. Same with the 20. Most of the damage on the car is mostly back end. As we're down to 23 cars left on this racetrack if the 14 and the 11 are able to get repairs and make minimal speed. In fact, if they're able to get on the lead lap, which meantime, while we wait for this, while we sort out this red flags, is got into a caution period, and teams can continue making decent body work on the cars. Continue making work. A new rule that was put in place this year, since too many people were working on cars during the red flags. During red flags is drivers cannot work on their cars at all during a red flag. They can do some plans, but they cannot do decent body work, heavy body work. They can only do minor, tweaks. They can, tape down a fender or anything like that, but they cannot make decent, substantial amounts of body work. Like, see, the 14 and the 11 crews already body slamming the hood of the car. While we wait for this here, Robert Smith, man, he's survived a lot of bumping and some crashing tonight, especially in the second half of the race. That basically is, in this race alone, there are 10 cars in the garage right now working on damage. In fact, Peyton Beasley has just returned to the track, so we can bump the attrition level down to 9. 9 cars. And actually, Joseph Lombard, remember he's subbing for Mason Powers after his violent crash last week at Indy. He is multiple laps down. Anyways, pace car is off. We got 4 laps and a crazy shootout to boot. Can Jacob Tube, a guy who's started toward the back tonight, he is basically in prime position to get another win this year. The question is, he's going to have to hold off the 2 to do it. These 3 very fast cars. Green flag. Wow, look at the 78. Great push. All the way to the lead. Here, as we head down to turn 1. 78's push to the 8th. Whoa. Oh. Oh, wow, look at that. 88 basically blocked a lot of guys banging on each other in the back. We could very well see yet another crash. Crash behind. Crash behind you. Meanwhile, up front, the 78 and the 2 have broken away from this field. It's going to be a battle between them. Not unless we get another crash. Three to go. WUB Network has pulled to a very good lead over the 2. He hit the curb down the area between the apron and the flat, kind of pushed him up. Hopefully he didn't get in the wall, but the 2 closed up quite a bit. We're here. You see a lot of these guys continue to battle it out in the pack. Here comes Robert Smith down to the inside. If these 2 mess each other up, watch out for that 24 car. He's not afraid to get in there and mix things up. Side by side, going into 1. 2 to go. If we make it to the white, this race is official. Repeat, if we make it to the white, this race is now official. As look, now we got a 3-car fight for the win. Between the 78, 2, and 24. Robert Smith now to the lead. For contact, 78 and 24, Jacob Tube all the way down to the apron. Last lap. And look at that. With that pass, 2 for 1. Oh, they hit. Bump. Look at that. The bump and run. Can 24 come back? The question is, will the 24 come back? Oh, he's got. Oh, round goes the 24. Oh, hard impact. Do they waive the caution? I don't know. That's pretty heavy impact. They're going to have to roll safety vehicles out. Robert Smith coming off of turn 4 in his first partial season with Penske after the midsummer driver swap. Robert Smith is going to come off turn number 4. He will win tonight at Rockingham. Wow. Tell it 24. I'm sorry, guys. That pretty heavy shot. Let me know if he gets out. That was WB Network talking. Robert Smith, the winner tonight at Rockingham, in a wild bump and run move on the 24 that eventually got him loose and may have led to the 78, him getting together. Led to the 24 and the 78 getting together, saying 24 hard into the inside wall. The winner net is down. Jacob Tube looks like he's taking his time getting out. What a sight. Jacob Tube immediately walking to the ambulance. It's like 24 pit crew, as we just saw a few moments ago, all of them are running towards the 78 pit crew right now. We got a fight down here. Bill. Alan, there wasn't a lot of talking between these two pit crews over that last lap incident. Crew members from the 24 have found crew members from the 78, and there's a big fight down here. People are flying, fists are flying. Got a lot. Fists are flying. People are just jumping on top of each other. It's basically like the scene off a wrestling TV show down here. Officials are coming in trying to break these two crews apart. As it's like Rick Hendrick is trying to pull away some other crew members. We got the 48 pit crew members in there. That's and it looks like it's not over. Looks like we've got the situation diffused. We got another pocket of 24-78 crew members getting into each other. Second time these two crews have gone at it. Remember, the 78 pit crew did not get any penalties for the actions taken at Indy. However, the driver of the 78 did. And we don't see WB Network involved in any of this. He's down pit road. He actually drove down and off turn 2 and is waiting for the 78 for Jacob 2 to get out so they can ride together. Looked like it was a little bit of a calmer situation as WB Network tried to defuse it. With WB Network finishing in second tonight. Jacob Tube, unfortunately, finishing in the 24th position. In this one. Wow, a lot of attrition tonight. Huh. How about Xavier Sodreska blowing a tire and hitting the wall to bring out one of the race's 6 cautions tonight? Sorry, 5 cautions tonight. How about that? Finishing 11th. Believe it or not. Great run for that camp. See, the unofficial results are going to be scrolling by on the screen. See where your favorite driver finished. A lot of underfunded guys, since a lot of the big name stars were taken out in wrecks tonight. A lot of guys you don't normally see are up in the top 15, top 20. Caleb Hoffman, unfortunately, with his hard crash, finishing in last. Remember, congratulations to Robert Smith and his win tonight out at North Carolina. Make sure to tune in next Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern for the Portland 350K road course race number 2. Coverage begins at 1:30 p.m. Eastern with the Discover Card Countdown to Green. And this one, then that race can be seen on TNT. It's quite the show tonight. A lot of bumping and grinding, a lot of action, a little bit of tempers as well. Just perfect racing you see on a Saturday night. Congrats to Robert Smith.